It's nice to welcome you to another edition of NAFDAC and Your Health, where you get to know about the activities of NAFDAC at ensuring that the food, water, drinks, drugs, cosmetics, and medical equipment that are made available for public use are of good quality and are proved to be of acceptable standard. I am your host, Amanda Ugo. On today's edition of NAFDAC and Your Health, in the spirit of the Yuletide season, we will be discussing food labeling. We'll talk about the significance of food labeling and why consumers need to always read the labels on the packaged food products and drinks they buy during the season. We'll go on to talk about international standards in safety and particularly food labeling, as well as the role of Codex Alimentarius in all of these. And in the second segment, we'll be talking about the enforcement raid carried out in a warehouse where rice is being rebranded to deceive unsuspecting consumers. The labels on packaged food products are not supposed to be optional. They are compulsory as they communicate information about the products to the consumers. Labels on food products supply information such as dates, ingredients used, allergens, instructions for storage and preparation, as well as advisory and warning statements. In essence, labels help to protect the consumers and help them make informed decisions when shopping. These factors that point to the significance of labels are the reasons NAFDAC, as an agency charged with the responsibility of safeguarding public health, takes the issue of labeling on her regulated products very seriously.
In terms of additives in food, I'm very finicky because I go to the grocery store to buy food. I don't have that much time as a DG, but I still go to ShopRite. I look at the label. Before, I was not. When I was in the US, I wasn't. The first maybe few years, 10 years or whatever, even FDA US wasn't focusing on labeling as such. But later, they also developed, their not developed their guidances, revised their guidances and so on, and started paying attention to some food additives. One of them is MSG. It was around that time that I started paying attention as consumer. You have to pay attention. We now have a guidance or regulation that was published 2021 in terms of food labeling. So if it is bromate, if it is sugar or salt or MSG, all this must be on the label. Not just flavor. What type of flavor? So why is this so important? Bromate can cause all sorts of damage to the liver, to central nervous system. May cause seizures. Aside from the fact that some people may be allergic to it. My own son is allergic to, and myself, we're allergic to MSG. So it's not even the tiny amount. It is the presence at all. That doesn't mean it's not good if it's used reasonably, at a reasonable level. But there are some people that have reaction to it. And there's nothing we can do except put that in the labeling. But consumers must educate themselves that they have to read label. Because some of these additives have side effects. Allergic reaction, asthmatic-like reaction. Cancer, like I said before, something you eat every day for the rest of your life. Maybe 60 years, 80 years. After tiny amount will start getting lodged in different organs. Before you know it, cancer. Before you know it, one form of the disease or the other. That is why we have to read label, but we have the responsibility of ensuring that what is put on the label is what we approved. And if they change label on us, we yank them off. We close them down. We do not give room for people to use whatever they want. Even the advertisement, the packaging, if we the drawing, the artwork must be consistent with what we approved.
NAFDAC does not carry out her regulatory activities in isolation, but in accordance with the stipulations and guidelines of international regulatory bodies. This is because of the trade with other countries of the world through importation and exportation of products regulated by NAFDAC. This also covers food products as a major product regulated by NAFDAC. Based on this, NAFDAC's regulatory activities on food are usually in tandem with the guidelines and resolutions of Codex Alimentarius.
Codex Alimentarius is an entity that enforces or put guidances out in terms of food, what is inside the food, levels at which something should be present in food. And it is a global entity. It is made up of FAO and WHO. When they meet, they become very, you will, during the discussion, you will see to the minutest level of something present in the food. They will say, okay, 0.02 milligram should be there. Now, 0.02 milligram may be for Nigeria or the African continent. It may be different from for another population. Why? Because through studies, they found out it is not like they are discriminating. It is that they have found out that the way we handle products or additives or whatever is different. So that is why Nigeria goes to Codex Alimentarius meeting every year. It is also a trade organization in a way. And you will see each country try to put their better foot forward. That is why SON and NAFDAC work very closely in the country to ensure that what we are getting is what we are supposed to get based on Codex Alimentarius. It's not a static organization. They improve and change their guidances with time. I want to talk about salt and sugar. If Codex says X amount is okay, we also have the national body that will say, oh, okay, X amount is okay or X amount is not okay. We want it lower based on studies. So Codex Alimentarius doesn't force itself on any country, but if for UK, for example, it is 0.2, for Nigeria or Africa is 0.3, you cannot ship things to that country and use 0.3. You have to use whatever that country has been linked with, their whatever concentration or whatever that is associated with that country. So that is part of why during exportation or rejection sometimes we think that our own standards are different or are the same. No. The same thing with if they are bringing something to our country. If ours is 0.2 and theirs is 0.3, we will not accept it because these things have been stipulated for different countries or different geographical zones.
The need to reiterate the importance of labeling and particularly date markings has been made more obvious over the past few weeks as a criminal act of unscrupulous people who are in the fraudulent habit of counterfeiting food products as well as alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks alike. Knowing that the Yuletide season is a period when the patronage of these products increase, they have also heightened their criminal act, but they have met their match in NAFDAC. The agency has, over the past few weeks, due to increased surveillance, found out and arrested increased numbers of counterfeiters of assorted drinks and food products across the nation. Apart from counterfeiting these products, the criminals also engage in the act of revalidating expired products, changing the expiry dates on them. NAFDAC therefore once again advises consumers to particularly check the manufacturing date and expiry dates among other information on the food products and drinks they buy. They should patronize only reputable stores and should not buy goods just because they are cheap. You have been watching NAFDAC and Your Health. Please stay tuned. Welcome back. You are still watching NAFDAC and Your Health. Thank you for staying tuned. The NAFDAC Director General has been giving directives to the agency's personnel across the nation towards ensuring that consumers of food products and drinks are saved from purchasing and consuming counterfeited, substandard, and falsified food products and drinks, and has been vigorously monitoring to ensure that surveillance are in top gear and that necessary enforcement operations follow. All to see to it that the activities of counterfeiters of food products and drinks are checked and offenders are brought to book as the members of the public go about making purchases to enjoy the season. This directive and the monitoring that followed have helped the agency to nab counterfeiters of various kinds of food products and drinks this festive season. However, the personnel of NAFDAC have not rested on their urge to eliminate the menace of counterfeiters, which is usually on the increase during the Yuletide season. The unrelenting efforts took the NAFDAC director in the Federal Capital Territory, Mr. Kenneth Azikiwe, and his men around Abuja recently, and the discoveries made were indeed shocking. Knowing that rice is one popular food that is mostly purchased for consumption during the season, some unscrupulous human beings have been in the habit of faking brands of rice that are known to enjoy high patronage. They have loads of various brands of packaging materials which they use to package rice, making the buyers believe they are actually buying the brands of rice inscribed on the bags. These illegal activities were being done in large scales as found out in the large warehouse used for the shady deal.
The owner has already locked it, so we are going to cut it open and see what is happening inside. So you can see these are not factories where, this is not bull factory, but these are the bags they are using. You can see different, this is Mama's Choice, rice from Olam. This is another one, Fortune rice from Optimum Fortune Rice Limited. You can see. This is Mama Good. This is from Olam. Mama Good from Olam. This is Patriot. This is from Chi Nigerian Limited is supposed to be making this Patriot parboiled rice. So these are the ones they are counterfeiting here. So from this place, we are going to move to the warehouse where these products are being offered for sale for the consuming public. But this is where the counterfeiting activity takes place here. And it's concealed, this warehouse is concealed behind a residential facility in order to deceive the neighborhood not to think that there is something funny going on in this place. You can see how large the warehouse is. They work only at night. They don't work at the daytime. That's what we are seeing. So they do the repackaging in the night. By daytime, they move it to the warehouse where we are going now, right now, for them to sell it to unsuspecting members of the public.
Mr. Kenneth Azikiwe explained that the exercise is being carried out on the express directive of the NAFDAC Director General, Professor Mojisola Adeyeye.
This exercise was expressly directed by the Director General of NAFDAC, Professor Mrs. Christiana Mojisola Adeyeye, to ensure that all counterfeited food products in circulation is mopped up and those involved in counterfeiting popular brands are brought to book. As you can see from the whole exercise, you can see the packaging materials that are used for the counterfeiting of this product. So for us in NAFDAC, we implement zero tolerance to counterfeiting, faking, in order to ensure that only safe, good quality, wholesome food products are made available to Nigerians during this year-tide season and beyond. And that is why we're organizing this raid. It's a nationwide exercise, and it is part of the effort of the agency to ensure that Nigerians consume only wholesome quality products during this period and beyond.
Mr. Azikiwe also spoke about the factors that prompted the surveillance and raid at the locations visited.
The counterfeited products have been in the market for some time. We got information through intelligence and also complaints from the manufacturers. You find out that there are popular brands which are being counterfeited. So some of the manufacturers brought complaints to us, and also in the course of our job, we gathered intelligence to know exactly where these criminal elements are. And that is why we have come out today to fish them out. Yeah, they are mainly criminal elements. They are usually not companies. Like from the first facility we visited, you find out that there's a warehouse built behind a residential facility where they conceal their activity. So it is not really companies, but they are individuals. They will pay the full wrath of the law in line with NAFDAC regulations. We visited the manufacturing facility in Karo, where the people involved there were involved using their facility to package counterfeit food products. And for what you can see from the Karo site we went to, you can see the packaging materials of different brands from one particular facility. And then they package this product and sell to unsuspecting Nigerians, so that the unsuspecting Nigerians will believe that those brands are really what they are consuming. They will believe that the quality associated with that brand is what they are consuming. So at the end of the day, it is an exercise or a manufacturing facility or a manufacturing exercise that is covered in deceit, and these criminal elements would definitely face the full wrath of the law.
The director, NAFDAC Abuja office, also gave an estimate of the seized products.
We did not start this exercise today. We have about 400 and something bags already in Wuse market, which we have already put on hold and seized from the those involved in it. And we have the one we have seized here. But roughly we are putting the quantity of rice and counterfeited products that we have seized here to about 5 billion naira.
Mr. Azikiwe once again reiterated the agency's advice to the members of the public.
My advice to Nigerians is that, like we always say, know the source where you are buying your food products. Ensure that the food products you are buying are registered by NAFDAC. Ensure that the aesthetic presentation of the product, you know, by the time you want to pay money for something, you must look at how the thing is packaged. You know, what is hurriedly packed in such facilities or packed in the shop that we are seeing are not properly packed. Look at the aesthetic presentation, look at the batch information, and know the source from where you are buying these things. Buy from reputable stores, supermarkets, and distributors that are selling these products.
This is where we'll call it a day on this edition of the program. We shall be back again, same time, same station next week with another incisive package. If you have any information that could help NAFDAC to further safeguard the health of Nigerians, please reach out to us.
You can reach NAFDAC via toll-free numbers. For inquiries, call 0700 162 3322. For complaints, call 0800 162 3322. You may also email NAFDAC at nafdac.gov.ng. If you have complaints about any form of misconduct, you can reach the Reforms Unit via email reforms@nafdac.gov.ng or call the Reforms hotlines on 0909 763 0506 or 0909 763 0507. NAFDAC, customer focused, agency minded.
Remember, producing, importing, distributing, marketing, advertising or selling of unwholesome food products, fake drugs and cosmetics, or unapproved chemical and medical equipment are all against the law. Please desist from these acts as they pose a great danger to the health of the nation. Till we meet again next week, stay healthy.